Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20 Week 2. Last time, well, the Inno Juggernaut came out in the worst Inno Juggernaut game in the universe and he went 18-1 anyway. They do not know how to play against that thing, I don't think. I expect a ban this time. It definitely,
Oh, there you go.
yep, it definitely shows, I think, a weakness for this lineup. Like, I do think that that exposes, it's like, you know, today it's going to be the Juggernaut. I don't think you need to ban the Dazzle. That didn't really do anything last game, but today it's going to be the Juggernaut. But Juggernaut is really, at his core, is a hero that's going to prey on the uncoordinated, is a hero that's going to need some preparation and knowledge to deal with. And I think maybe some time thinking about theory with heroes like that, with heroes like the Dark Seer, who you're going to, who would be effective against a lineup that looks like this, against heroes like, you know, to a degree, the Centaur and the Dark Willow. You know, one of them you faced, one of them you picked last game. Heroes like that, definitely should plan for those occasions, should figure out those, like, more game-changing heroes and playing around them. Definitely needs to be on the cards. By the way, with me here is Kyrix/Sheneni.
Hello.
First pick in the Muerta, huh? I hate that. On so many levels. That's horrible. What a bad idea.
Oh, they keep it the same. Willow first pick.
Yep. I think the Willow mostly worked in their favor last time, so I can't argue against it. Even when it was down, even when this team was like really down, couldn't do anything, the Willow is still operating at least a little bit, so good sign of life from Leaf on the hero. The Morta, I just well,
My Guardian counter argument to this is that you can probably flex Muerta between 1 and 4.
I don't care.
But...
It's you either. I think 4 is maybe the most underrated role in LD2L. I think it can have a really disproportionately large impact on the game. Let's just say it like this. If Leaf was playing badly last game, it would have been like 15 minutes long, right? Like, it would have been just a massive shit show. And pretty much every kill that the team got was teed up for by Leaf, right? Like, a big pause 4 can potentially win 2 lanes, realistically. With the right hero, with the right situation. You're banning out the same heroes, including the Ursa, which I think is just a terrible idea. You're not picking the Jug this time, so why do that? But fuck, what was I talking about? I hate the Morta.
It's like Radiant has the same opening.
There we go. The Morta I dislike. The Morta I strongly dislike. They're rolling back the Centaur. That's probably fine. The Morta I strongly dislike. If it's a core, it's so easy to counterpick and just make that food. Now they've shown they struggle with counterpicks, but just because they struggle with the counterpick against Jug doesn't mean they're going to be struggling with the counterpicks against every hero, right? Like, it's not going to be. You're rolling the dice, hoping that they just kind of flub it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, very easy to counterpick and just completely remove that from the game if it's a core. I mean, anything that's going to, purge you is just, you know, pretty bad for that hero. Anything that's going to be able to do damage, they're picking up the AA. Anything that's going to be able to do damage through the ult is going to be kind of bad juju for you. Like, you know, if Timbersaw wasn't absolutely in the trash can right now, he's an awesome response to that, for example. Just literally nothing that Muerta does is something that scares him, basically. So, you can very easily build around the damage that she does and just kind of shut her down without too much of a sweat. Just basically any hero that can hit ghosts. Very scary for Muerta. Any hero that doesn't care about ghosts, very scary for Muerta.
Underlord.
Pit Lord?
Yeah.
Again, Rauk team trying to... It feels like is keeping a very generic lineup so far. You know, last time they really could have run the lineup they had last game against basically any team, against basically any comp. And they could have ran it like an offensive 5-man team. They could have run it very defensively. They're going to be picking the Life Stealer here. Life Stealer against AA is kind of a brave choice, I must say.
Indeed. But, yeah.
You are, this is a hero where it is not necessarily game over if your matchup against AA is bad, because A, it's just not that easy to reliably land the AA ult anyway unless he's in your face, which, you know, he usually isn't going to be, or at least he shouldn't be. B, very long cooldown skill. C, if you have some way to dodge it, which Life Stealer does, you do have that option in your pocket, right? But that's a nice little funny deal for the Muerta. If you're still going to be building the Ags on the Live Stealer, which you should in this game.
So it's a Muerta 4.
Could be. Could also be Muerta mid.
No way. No way?
I think
Who
it's
plays
a decent
Muerta mid?
possibility. Who plays Muerta mid? Well, Chobro was playing Dazzle mid last game. That's all I'm going to say.
That's... Oh yeah, you got me there.
But, either way, if the Muerta is something you're worried about, Ags is good. If the Muerta is not something you're worried about, the Ags is still good here.
It's interesting how it's the exact same last phase ban from last
yeah.
game. Like OD Viper, Alina Sniper.
Very interesting indeed. The OD makes a lot of sense because I think that's the hero Chobros play the most at mid.
5 seconds remaining.
Weird that they got the big comfort ban for Chobro but not for Inno. Kind of odd. Maybe he just hasn't been playing the jug much recently or something? I don't know. I mean, he's not been playing Dota 2 at all much recently. Death Prophet? I guess it's... Death Prophet? Death Prophet? What do you mean, Death Prophet? On a team with one real stun? Like, you're gonna pick a Death Prophet? Hey Kyrix, pop quiz. Why does it suck to be Death Prophet on a team with no stuns?
You just run.
Yeah, who cares about your EXO when you can just disengage from it? Who cares about your EXO when you can just dive through everyone and just engage onto the DP and just kill her in seconds when the thing starts? You've really got no options to screen it outside of the Centaur Stomp.
I mean, you can Centaur ult to chase, but
it's true.
No, that's...
You can Centaur ult and try to hope you get somewhere over the Ogre stun, over the Willow stun, under the Pit Lord Pit, over the Life Stealer open wounds, you know?
Yeah, Oh, and Void Spirit?
I don't think the open wounds actually does anything there, but still. Yeah, I don't know. This looks like a really rough DP game. So not only is it getting picked up here, it's going to be going mid against a Void Spirit, which I don't think I favor it against. You know, even if the disparity between the two players is going to be pretty big metal-wise, not pretty big, but it's going to be decent metal-wise. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems to be Radiant favored again this time, but...
Yeah. Was last time too, yeah. Was last time too, and I don't know how much that really mattered, but... Yeah, I don't know, this is a very awkward-looking game for both teams. Both teams have much better disengage than they have, like, engage. Both of these teams are really good at stopping a fight from happening and are really bad at getting a fight to actually happen. Like, you have the Centaur Stomp for the Dire, but what the hell's a follow-up? I mean, it's not like the EXO is going to kill people in the time of one Centaur Stomp. It's not like the multi-shot is going to wreck people unless, or like the A ult is going to wreck people unless it's like on 5. Which that's not going to happen, that's just not in the cards anyway. You've got one hero that's going to be in the skirmish line the entire fight. You got one hero that's going to be in the fray. You got one hero that's going to be in another hero for a decent amount of the fight. You've got one hero who's also going to be on a different part of the skirmish line, probably trying to get a flank on you. I mean, like, you're not gonna get much follow up to the initiate off of the Dire team. Like, what follows a stomp? Nothing really. Not unless you get 5, and like I said, that is not really in the cards.
Yeah, maybe you can follow up with the calling from Muerta, but it's not the strongest follow up you can probably come up with.
Yeah. But then it's almost the same deal on the Radiant, just a little bit more. I mean, Void Spirit, he does more damage than he used to on the Void Spirit. It's still not an amazing amount of damage. I would never pick a Pause 1 Void Spirit unless I lost my mind. But, you know, the Void Spirit isn't exactly damage McGee. Ransoms kind of, on the Pit Lord, has something to do here because they've got so much stun along with this pit that you can feasibly keep somebody in your queue for a long time. So there's that, but that's, again, just kind of a one-person thing. You've got the Lifestealer able to pop out and go at you, but, like, what does this team do to start fights? Like, infest the Void Spirit?
Void Spirit.
And have Pit Lord ult in to, like, follow? Like, that's not a very clean entry, to say the least. That can go very badly.
If Void Spirit build, is the X still silence thing?
That's wrong hero, I believe.
Oh, it does still silence. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good initiate.
I mean, it's okay, but I mean, again, like, okay, you go in, you silence a Drow, and then Centaur Warrunner hits R, and then she's gone. Unless you have a lot of follow-up behind it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, unless you have Underlord ready and stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, neither of these teams are, like, good at initiating fights. None of these teams really counter each other. I always say, you know, there are three. There are two doctrines in picks, right? You have proactive and reactive picks, right? You know, proactive is basically you close your eyes, you pretend the other guy hasn't picked anything, and you just do the lineup you want to do. You run the lineup you want to run, right? Reactive is just a entirely counter pick focused draft. You know, they pick this, so you pick that to counter it, right? You know, they picked the Tidehunter, so we're picking the Ursa. They picked the they picked the Sniper, so we're picking the Spectre. That kind of pick mentality, right? And it's like neither of these teams just did that. I mean, the Drow is pretty good into the Pit Lord. I feel like this is a really bad lane for him. Really bad game in general for the Pit Lord when it comes to facing the Drow. You're really going to be okay, not if she forgets that there's Dark Willow heroes in the lane. Doesn't matter how bad the matchup is for the Pit Lord if the Dark Willow can just own you, but
Wait, how did the Willow do it?
Because she started that when she was already very low and just got hit down by the other guys. Let's see it happen again. Yeah, she started that at half health, so you know, one shot from the Drow, one snowball from the AA, and it was over. But hey, you know, that's a much bigger kill than they got last time. So, sort of what I was talking about at the top of the game, you know, a good Cause 4 can win you 2 lanes. I think a Pause 4 is much more easily able to, like, solo a bad offlane than solo 4, like a bad offlane. Not a bad offlane player, but a bad offlane matchup. Or a bad player. I mean, I don't think Ransoms is bad. I don't have that much knowledge of him, but he has a pretty high metal. He mostly plays this lane, as I understand it, so there's that. But, you know, like, if you got a bad offlane matchup like this one, you know, a good Pause 4 can carry you through it. It's pretty hard to do that with a Pause 5 unless it's a really brilliant matchup. The bad news, really, for the Dire team is, you've got that top lane who just spilled first blood, and you've got this bottom lane, which at least should be just absolutely terrible for the Centaur Warrunner. I mean, the Lifestealer passive isn't as bad as the old scheme used to be, like the old W for the Lifestealer would just maul this guy to bits. The old Feast would just maul this guy to smithereens. But, you know, he still has at least some Feast going on here. He still does have the ability to open your wounds. So, You know, Lifestealer is going to be able to kind of beat the crap out of the Centaur, and it's going to be a little tough for the Centaur to actually do anything about that. So this lane should probably favor him. He was winning this lane in, you know, his last life, so should be doing it again.
Yeah, the
And
lanes are more balanced this time.
as predicted, the mid lane here, even though the badge is just so disparate, it is coming up much more in favor of Jumpman this time. Who, you know, this time last game was like way down. This time this game he is actually up, so. Despite the early kill on the Drow Ranger, she is still probably going to win this lane. It's very unlikely they just win 3 lanes here unless he really plays poorly around the Willow. Just because of the Drow, she even got the Falcon Blade just to seal the deal here. Just because of the Pit Lord into the Drow, it's just a poor combination. Usually, I'm all about, okay.
Oh.
Leaf taking a big chunk out of Drow's HP bar once again. Usually I'm a big fan of the Pit Lord game, and it might have just saved Leaf's life there. But won't save yours. Okay, this could be crazy, this could be crazy. It was just crazy talk at the end. I think that needed to they needed to wait on that. They needed to wait for Ransoms to be ready for that there. You know, okay. You know, almost just got himself killed. He is going to be running for the hills now. If he goes anywhere but that T1 tower, he's a nutcase. And yeah, just immediately gets under the shadow of it. They have no regen, so he's not going to be able to do anything but get the safest last hits for a while. And yeah, he's just not even contesting with Leaf here.
This is going better for Centaur than I expected.
Leaf, uh-oh, Drow made a
Ogre is here
whoopsie.
too.
Ogre is here just to watch. Ogre made a bit of Drow made a bit of a whoopsie doodles. I think it was kind of greedy to try and call Golden Dragon down here when this lane is not really favoring them thus far. You know, they were not gonna, if Drow didn't go out, they weren't gonna get the kill under tower anyway. He's going to get this Watcher. He's going to try and stick around, maybe go for round 2. Maybe find a courier? Nope.
No.
Too slow. No boots.
Oh. Golden Dragon?
He's coming in from the back.
Yeah.
This would have been a lot better if he was coming in from the other way, but it doesn't matter. They are actually going to get the double kill here. Kyrix is going to respond, but this is a Centaur Warrunner level 4. They're actually going to pop in the DP with the ult, which is going to get the job done. And that's great and everything, but DP didn't even get the kill. The Exo is not going to, the first Exo is not going to kill a tower, and Jumpman is going to totally ignore the totally free lane he has right now to go secure that shield rune. Luckily it didn't change much. It's a banner creep wave, so they have the higher HP region, and thus he is still going to get the free wave here, so there's that at least. They are looking for, I like the body block in there. They're looking for PMA stacker here. That would be,
are they... Ogre is gonna get the Wisdom? Wisdom Steal? Question
Maybe better. I actually called Megaman here. Hit him! Stun him, for God's sake! Might be...
Oh,
no. No, level 1 stun actually, I wasn't going to be able to do that anyway, it seems.
Oh!
And the Ogre just gets assassinated. I don't blame him for trying to stand and fight that, because I don't think he gets out anyway. God damn.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I don't know how much everybody at home heard at the very least who's that.
Dire's top tower is under
3v1 in this lane right now. The Centaur on both supports just sitting in this lane. You know, is giving Centaur a free lane. If there's anything,
Mid? Gang incoming?
maybe. Doesn't look like it though.
Oh!
Nope, they're just
it's just
gonna get a
secure nerd.
very secure invis rune here. Jumpman's happy at least.
Underlord?
What about him?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He's
Is he alive? Do we
maybe.
live?
Oh no, Ino actually.
Oh no, Ino is probably gonna
Ino
die.
stopped the TP, but I don't think he actually had to. I think he was gonna be fine off of that. Why is Rauk here of all people? What kind of a rotation is this? He's gonna get the Lord 777. He's gonna get Mega Man killed. The Drow's actually gonna go back to about full HP as she navigates this Ramble maze. Gonna turn around, get the Gust out. They don't actually have the ult on the Lifestealer, so we can't prosecute this any further. If he had it, I think they could easily kill her there, but... What do you mean Void Spirit died? How did this happen?
Oh,
They even had a rotation in his lane.
just walked.
He died with an Astral Step charge. Oh no, Jumpman.
And 12 one charge.
And an Invis rune. Cringe, Jumpman. That was cringe. Oh no, baby. Look at the net worth chart. It's not that meaningful yet. It's 9 minutes. Centaur is at the top of the charts right now, which might seem like a good thing. It actually kind of sucks. Centaur is not really a scaling hero in any meaningful way. Not really at this point in the game, and hardly ever. If he's the guy who's carrying the purse for you right now, if the DP isn't there, it's kind of bad, because a Centaur with 3.7k isn't really that much more dangerous than a Centaur with 2.8k, which is what Ransoms has right now, right? Like, he's basically got one power spike item, which he's going to get soon from now, no matter how well or poorly his lane goes, basically. And then that's his only power spike for like 30 minutes. Whereas DP really could use some cashola right now. She's building up the Veil of Discord. Does not have a Yule Scepter queued up, but should. Really.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Void Spirit
attack.
has been getting all the runes.
Yeah. If he had that Arc Warden trait that gave him a boost every time he got a rune, he would be balling right now. Pit Lord really doesn't have anything. Pit Lord on Poverty Row right now. He's pretty much just a global TP scroll for you at the moment. Global TP scroll plus his passive, which he has maxed out. For the record, I should say, I do like the only 1 point impet. That makes me happy to see. But if you're Pit Lord and you're in a losing lane, I'm usually a big advocate for Atrophy Aura, and he did turn around on it later on. If you're laning against a hero like Drow, it's kind of rare that your Atrophy Aura is even going to be affecting her anyway, especially in lane. So, you really want to go in on Firestorm, you want to try and just dodge her. Just keep getting the literally free last hits and force a lane stalemate. It's not bad, not a bad situation for you. Much better than the one you found yourself in. Though at the very least, Drow's doing pretty bad too, thanks to the influence of Leaf. Shoutouts to Leaf. This must feel Ransoms is probably seething right now at his PC listening to this. Like, when I fuck up, it's all me, and when our lane wins, it's all Leaf. Goddamn, but you know how it goes. It's not your fault you didn't win this lane on your own. Ransoms, Bitlord sucks into Drow. It's like a terrible lane for him. One of the worst.
They're chasing for
regular
Drow.
lanes. Yeah, they are. The support line here is smoking into the GG jungle. They found her. They've fear bombed her. They've actually missed the. They've actually missed
Okay.
some of the skills. It doesn't matter at all. She is still going to explode. Good, good go there from Leaf. Bitlord starts taking the express right back and says, "Wait a minute, never mind. I'm not really that scared. I think they're going to circle to where Lifestealer is. Just join with him to make sure him knocking down this T1 is safe." Looks like Leaf is going to get some vision up in the jungle, which, considering they're, you know, at least parity this time, that's something.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
It's a good vision strategy when you're, you know, up. Oh no, Ogre. You're panicking, Ogre. You can't decide whether he wants to fight or not. Luckily, somebody gave him the direction, and he decided to fight, and he won. Exo's taking out the Radiant mid T1. This Chobro guy has not really been out of this lane very much, though. He's made one personal appearance at top, did not get the tower while he was there. That's it. It definitely does feel like it's time for him to be moseying on now. I mean, hell, did he even get that tower, or was that already dead when he did that Exo? Also, jeez. Oh no, not the fake DP. The Dark Willow goes to jail. Shadow Realm and just TP's out. Just clean as a whistle there. Drumman's invading up here.
Ino?
He's taking out the Watcher, and Inno didn't care.
Oh no.
And I was like, my team will save me. And his team may still? Yeah, his team will, definitely. Jumpman's alone up here. All 5 of them are in the triangle, so that's good. 5 protect 1 type gameplay.
That's quite the crazy jump by Jumpman.
Yeah, I think that would have been fine if he actually had his Yasha finish when he did that, honestly. It's crazy for Inno to stay, though. Such a huge risk. It was only by pure luck he didn't die, basically.
Yeah. Well, pretty sure he heard you. He's farming very, very safely now.
Yep. Farming the classic GG jungle. You want to hear a controversial opinion? This might be one of the hottest takes.
Go.
I think that the worst thing they ever added to Dota 2 was the neutral items, but the GG jungle is a close second. I think this is just a stupid idea.
Neutral items?
Yeah, I hate jungle items, but I hate the GG jungle just as much, and it's a relevant thing to talk about right now. I feel like they really took out... I feel like the GG jungle is why the off lane has been, like, the zero impact lane, basically outside of just being, you know, just being carrying one item, right? Like, since the new map, the off lane has done one of 3 things. Carry Shiva's Guard, carry auras, or do nothing. That's your 3 options. And a lot of it is just because it doesn't matter if you win the lane, it doesn't matter if Leaf just gets run over here by the Centaur ult and the DP following. It doesn't matter if you win your lane as spawns 3, because the enemy P1 just has somewhere, always has somewhere that's just totally safe to farm. You are not getting a kill in this GG jungle unless something is going horribly, horribly wrong for your team, basically. So, you have this incredibly safe place to farm, and it means it's very hard to secure an actual victory. You know, historically, you could win your lane as off lane, flood the jungle, and, you know, just starve out the enemy P1. That's not really an option anymore. Also, Willow's just gonna solo this poor Muerte. You remember what I was talking about at the top of the game with people who don't care about the ghost? That's one of them. Just throws your stupid fairy at your stupid ghost, and fairy type is super effective against ghost type, as we all know. That's the part where you're supposed to ask, is it?
No, I was like trying to think, what is fairy type weak to?
You mean ghost type, because that's the one that's being attacked here.
It's fake. Alright, I'm confusing myself at this point.
Yes, you are. The answer is, I actually think it's the other way around. I think it's Ghost that's super effective against Fairy, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't keep up with these new age Gen 5 types, you know. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
The important thing is that Muerta just gets completely run over.
Oh, Dark Willow?
And the GG jungle sucks. Yeah, Dark Willow getting found by the mid here, getting found by the DP, but this root is okay. You had to know that was coming, right? Like, oh no, Roche isn't home. But she like baited them into using the shot in the pits. Or is that I guess?
No, she dies.
Nope,
she dies?
just
no, she
barely
lived. Damn.
Should be only just a level 1 AA ult. So would need 12% HP, which would be about 90, 100. So I think that would be like 980, 990. 980, 990.
Yeah.
Be about like
is under attack.
98, 99 HP to actually kill over.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that was like 30 HP too. Oh. We
Yep.
just died.
Just barely. Leaf trying to go for another kill in the jungle here. Just kind of walks into Drow at an awkward time and explodes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to almost kill this
Defend.
T2 here. Yeah.
Uh,
The Radiant is going to
And-
defend. Jumpman has kind of cut them off at a really awkward angle. It makes
And
this
they
team
just-
fight pretty rough. Rauk is here. He's got his Radiance by now.
Oh. Goodbye, Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a long-ass time for her to go down, but she is going to go down. So, they do not take the, they do not take this T2 and just lose the profits. It's just a net loss for the...
Right now, it's still being chased.
Yeah, they are. The Pitlord Express coming in. This is a good Pitlord Express. Going to,
Goodbye.
well, it's not
Muerta.
going to be followed up with a pick, because he both doesn't have it and he's out of mana, but... Good Pitlord Express in. Get a jungle item, please. What the hell? Get Pitlord Express in.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Do you prefer when the jungle items are like you just get 5 and then you just fight your teammates for it? Or do you
I
this
prefer the
one?
jungle items to not be in the game to begin with, to be honest with you.
Alright,
I thought that
we
was the
changed the
dumbest
question.
change they
Which
ever
one?
made.
Which one do you hate less?
Dire's bottom tower
I mean, I guess the current implementation, because the current implementation is like the most fangless version of them all. It's like the jungle items are much weaker just across the board than they used to be, basically, so therefore, who cares? There's no longer a jungle item that gives you $1 million for free. There's no longer a jungle item that just gives you free crits. In fact, there's hardly jungle items that do anything like conventionally useful. You just either get the wimpiest stats in the world, or you get, you know, if today is a Tuesday and it's the calendar is an even number, and if Golden Dragon lives this encounter with the Centaur Warrunner and the Death Prophet, and that would be a massive waste to stampede poor Kyrix if that was the case, then in
I get
that
one
case
for
you
this.
do 50 additional damage on your next attack. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's very conditional, and the stat increases at this point are so small. Neutral items, they used to be just like terrible RNG. Like the first implementation of them was ungodly, and Drow's gonna die here. Ew,
Oh, yeah.
almost gets out. The not sure where that invis came from. Does somebody have a glimmer cave? Was she invis, or was I just smoking crack? Looked like she was. Go 20 seconds
I
back, see this happen.
I think Drow was in this. Or was it?
No, she just looked like
No,
she
it
was
was-
invis because it was the terrorize debuff. Okay. But, yeah, Drow just gets caught here, just gets caught in the jungle and just annihilated. It's kind of a shame that go by Centaur Warrunner onto the Ogre Magi at bot kind of just cost Drow her life, and they didn't even kill the Ogre when they did that. 559 gold changes hands. Drow's going to be out for 20 seconds. Just to let Rauk further his lead, there's going to actually be a Pitlord Express over here to the triangle to try and support the Lifestealer here. He is going to, oh my god, just barely get inside the Jumpman
okay.
for untimely death. He's going to come out virtually immediately, I think too early. Greedy to jump out when you're at like no HP for a support. I think he really wanted to hold that so you could contest the Death Prophet, and now you actually also have a scary situation with this Drow here. You're going to be fine, but jumped out too early, and so what should have been a win for your team was kind of an even trade. Sorry, Rauk. Oh well. 2 for 2 here. Favors the Dire, just barely 200 gold changes hands in their favor. Notably, Drow didn't get any of that, so there's that at least.
That's
Let's see
a
what
crazy
you
amount of damage from Prophet. Like,
Bro going for an
60
Eternal Shroud.
Eternal Shroud.
Which makes sense, I guess, because literally the only non-spell damage on this entire team is Lifestealer, so...
Yeah.
I mean, he has, like, the Radiance, is even still doing things against him. But... yeah. As I was saying, though, and this is the really important thing, yeah, just added a stupid RNG element. The jungle items, when they still were impactful enough that you cared about their balance, really, were never really balanced. never even really all that close to balance. Like, the shovel was just bullshit from the moment it was put into the game till the moment it left. The original Royal Jelly, now that's a laugh. Like, if you didn't get Royal Jelly, you might as well just abandon the game. They're gonna walk right onto the Drow here, but the wrong person's gonna be moving forward, so they're gonna miss her. It's hard to say who the right person is there, in fairness. They're going to get the very brave go here, but they are going to maybe get... They're not even going to get the Muerta, they're just going to chain stun the Void Spirit here until he dies. Gotta question a little bit why we didn't see a Pillard Express into the middle of that, but... It's only a 1 for 2, which is still pretty bad. That's still a nearly 2k gold swing for about 1800 gold for the Dire here, which has brought the Radiance lead down to only 2k, has put Death Prophet into second place. Very desperate. Rightfully, it is, again, it's the same thing I said in the GRAF game. It's like, it is right that they're prioritizing the Drow, because this Drow is going to be the, 15 minutes, this Drow is going to be the only hero on this team that matters. Last time, Inna was also the only hero on his team that mattered, but 15 minutes from now, it's going to be a Drow 1v9. It's going to be Drow versus the world, so they should be energetic and aggressive going for her. It just doesn't feel like everyone's on the same page in that attempt. It feels like you've got two guys who really want to go, two guys who are saying, I don't know about this, and one guy who is not involved at all, so... I'm going to run over the, I'm going to use Exo to kill the support line here. I will say, even though it does feel like the momentum is right now in favor of the Dire, I am a little concerned with the fact that it feels like we're never seeing an Exo being used on an objective. It's just, we're seeing a lot of Exos being used to get, like, kills on dudes. Use your, okay, there we go. Jumpman almost died of not hitting buttons there. That would have been kind of bad. Oh man, he's so low.
Ooh.
Drink your bottle, Jumpman! Drink it! No!
Oh no. Oh.
He did drink one drink, like a frame before he died, but that was it. Still, the Lifestealer is going to come in from behind the fight, follow it up, and get the easiest kill of his life on this DP. The DP is going to silence him, and the Lifestealer is going to say, I don't care. Like, not at all. That was a little cringe. I think Jumpman waited a little long to hit that Mantis style. He never drank his drink. Kind of unfortunate, because he was just like frames away from living. If he was able to dissimulate there, then the Lifestealer would be able to infest him. If the Lifestealer was able to infest him, he lives, for sure. For sure, for sure. Bad communication, perhaps, but then he's a stand-in, so what can you even expect? That's just going to be kind of par for the course, is awkward communication execution sometimes. I don't know how well Jumpman knows Route, frankly, so.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Here comes the fastball down mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under
Actually going to
attack.
kind of pressure the Pit Lord a little bit. Nobly does not have magic resist items at all, which is, I guess, fair, because they don't really have anything that's too crazy magic damage-wise. I would really like to see one of these two supports. Okay, they do have a Glimmer Cape on the Ogress. That's good. That's good. I should have used it
Would
on
be
the
nice
center.
against Prophet, right? A pipe against that Prophet?
No, because this is all physical damage.
Oh, that's physical. Oh. Clearly I never played that Prophet.
This is all physical damage, and Spirit Siphon is magical damage. But
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
no, what I was about to say applied to an old version of the skill, so it does work on that. It's not the biggest source of damage coming out of her usually. Going to take this T2 bot for free. I don't understand how this team with the Death Prophet, who is up, is somehow down on their objectives right now, because Dire's lost all their T2s. They have not taken a single one in response, and the Radiant even has their T1 top still. For the record, damage block does not interact with Ghosts. This is actually a really bad Crimson Guard game, so I get to flame Ransoms again. Hooray! It's ironic, because I was yelling at lads to build one of these in the other match, but here's the problem. Drow is this item away from that Crimson Guard meaning literally nothing. The Frost Arrows, they pretty much just don't care about that at all. I mean, really, the regular Frost Arrows are already going to do enough damage to just eat past what the Crimson Guard does, but The burst damage from Frost Arrows does not care about your Crimson Guard at all. The regen reduction and bonus damage is going to give her more than enough damage to just be eating right through it. So it's not really going to stop her, and nobody else on this team does fizz damage. This is the only time Morta's going to be right-clicking anything, and she does magic damage when that's the case. This person does not right-click anybody, and her ghosts don't interact with it. This person's not going to be right-clicking, this person's not going to be right-clicking. Death Prophet's going to be right-clicked. She's going to go solo on this T1 top here. Not expecting a response, I would imagine, but a response comes out. I don't know why she wouldn't be expecting a response, frankly, because nobody's here. She does actually kill the poor Jumpman. She actually kills the support too, so she gets 2 kills before she goes down. Yikes.
And the tower.
And the tower, but this is a T1 top at 27 minutes. I don't know how it accurately counts, but yeah, I mean that even though the DP got 2 kills, it is actually still a net win for the Radiant. Though I would, no, actually it's
That was for the entire.
Never mind. I somehow got this gold change backwards. Yeah, she wins a gold change and she gets a tower, so it's really probably about a grand swing there. Shows they need perhaps some more defensive options to deal with this. This poor Jumpman, he's starting to have a bad game. Things were going great for him at the start, but as time has gone on, not really feeling it so much. Going for a Witchblade here. I don't think that's the solution to his problems. I think the solution to his problems right now is finishing out the Zags, which, in fairness, he's about to. So never mind that. Finish out the Zags, maybe some sort of defensive item actually, because he is still getting kind of hammered by the DP here. This should be a pretty easy Roche. Should be using skills on him. Honestly, this open wounds that makes doing Roche very easy. Makes it very easy, very safe. Oh well. Nothing's actually gonna come out. Ransoms getting a pipe, which is going to stop the magic damage from the AA ult, and really that's about it, to be honest. Lifestealer might die. Lifestealer get inside somebody. Lifestealer get inside somebody.
Oh no.
Lifestealer, for the love of everything that is good and holy on planet Earth, get inside! Okay, there we go. Holy hell, he waited so long to do that.
Very close. Oh, goodbye, Ogre.
Yep. They're gonna just annihilate him. This is actually really bad. They're going to lose this Roche.
Oh, they're gonna get it.
You know, if he had just jumped in somebody like the moment. Oh my god, he tried to go for the steal, didn't get it. If he just jumped inside somebody the moment that was going bad, that would have never happened.
Oh, that was a nice
they're not
fight.
actually winning the fight here. They took out the Lifestealer. No, they are winning the fight. It's a 3-for-2 trade.
Oh. They
So man, stole a haste rune, so he's gonna be fine at least, but he's actually looking for the drow here. He might actually get her.
Yeah, and he has silence too, right?
Yes he does.
Oh
yes,
no, he missed the silence. Never mind.
Not like it really matters though. He's definitely going to. No, he's not. No, it did matter. It did actually matter in the end. He's going to die again. God.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he gets tipped. He never uses Manta style. I think he was just kind of panicking there when he realized the silence missed. That was a bad situation. All that needed to change for that to be good is when the AA ult lands the pit, the Lifestealer just jumps in somebody immediately. You don't regen health when you're in somebody, but I don't think you take the damage from the AA ult either. And he went down to went down very low. Between that and Roche just clocking him for a little bit extra damage. I think if he did that, his team can just calmly finish Roche. They take the Aegis, and they could use that to win the fight, because, you know, even though that was a bad trade, it was a bad trade where everyone on the Dire was very low at the end of it. The Centaur finished out the pipe to match his Crimson Guard. Much better item here this game due to the amount of damage.
He's gonna get soloed by Muerta.
Everybody hits the DP again. This time she gets no kills before she dies. Just kind of overcommits to this push here at top. Without Exo too. She died just when it came up. Not going to be allowed to see how much she went for, but or really the gold spread rather of how she died for a while, sadly. But you know how it goes. Kind of rough to lose her right, like, the moment Exo comes out. That's really annoying for them, actually. They still have Aegis, so I think it's probably going to happen here, realistically, but... Abyssal Blade comes out on the Lifestealer. He's pretty bad dude at this point. He's got his S&Y, he's got his Radiance, he's got his Abyssal Blade. He's gonna be doing a lot of damage if he can actually get up in your face and hit you.
Yeah, the DP is probably not getting out the moment she, like, jumps in.
Yeah, she has her Shivas, so that's pretty good. Going for SNK, which I think is pretty bad. I don't think that item does anything anymore. Free Shard for Leaf, who really, quite nice quality of life change for the Dark Willow here. Making a big mess on the battlefield is going to disconnect from the game. Making a big mess on the battlefield is Death Prophet's, not Death Prophet's, it's Dark Willow's biggest upside right now. So that helps. Oh my god, I was about to say, they unpaused too early. It appears they actually secretly didn't. It's just the replay didn't acknowledge that they did. Void Spirit has finally given up on his dreams of being big damage and is just going straight for Wind Waker to try and stop these awkwardly timed deaths from hitting him, which I think is fair. The Yules alone is going to be able to wait out a couple of seconds on the Dissimulate, a couple of seconds on the Astral Step. So.
Double damage.
I mean, the duration here, 2.5 seconds. That's 9.5 seconds on the Dissimulate. That's 13.5 on the Astral Step. Which doesn't sound like that much, but I mean, we saw occasions earlier where just a second or two more and the Jumpman lives, so I think it's an investment worth considering.
Oh, you're smoking?
Yeah,
What's going on?
smoke
No,
here.
they're not
just
smoking.
going to look at. They're going to go all in on a illusion. They're going to go all in on the other illusion now too, just to get their frustrations out. Someone's going to say no to Ogre Magi being here at this tower. I think him actually being there for at least a moment longer would have been fine. Lifesteal is going to lose his marbles here. That was a crazy go without Axe. Teleporting? What do you mean? What the hell was that? That hardcore. That left his team high and dry, but the Kyrix team, I think, was legitimately so confused by what happened, they didn't capitalize on it at all. All they're going to get for it is maybe this Ogre Magi, because he didn't TP out when he had the opportunity, but he actually still does. They're not chasing him. They see Jumpman here at bot. They're not actually going to go aggressive for the Ogre here. Going to take both Shrines for the Radiant here.
That might be exo wasted.
Yeah, that was exo wasted. Okay, but it's going to be Pitlord's life wasted if this happens to him.
Oh.
Lifestealer coming in on the back of the fight, but there's no way this turns into an equivalent trade. Just kind of...
oh, there's like two separate fights going on.
yeah, they kill the... They kill the
Muerta.
and then they just kind of converge right on where the Drow is. The AAL did not phase his Lifestealer at all, it's over, and now he's just back to full HP. They even killed Death Prophet's Courier just to add insult to injury. He's going to deny her Kaya for a little while longer.
That's quite the big turn.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even show them Muerta death. That's about a 6k net worth swing. I think that really just came from just fighting with all their buttons gone. I mean, they started the fight on the hardest target to kill. They didn't even kill him. They started this fight on the hardest target to kill. Didn't actually get the job done. Committed a lot without the actual Exo there, without the Muerta ult, without the the Stampede. They committed a hell of a lot onto that without any of their buttons, and it just did not end up working out for them. The Lifestealer came into that fight, I believe. No, he just finished the AC. Lifestealer came into that ready to kick ass. The Void Spirit had the Yules. I mean,
Yeah, not having Exo in that fight probably can cost them.
they also kind of came in just like that big fight in the last game. They just kind of came in one by one and just died one after the other. They split off the Muerta from the rest of the fight, just collapsed on the Drow. The Centaur was neither in position nor ready at all to defend that. The Ogre Magi is going to go down, and this push uphill is over.
They got one lane of barracks, so
Yep.
that's
It's not backbreaking, but it's pretty big. It's really hard to see where the comeback is for the Dire at this point. Feels like at this point nobody's able to stand in front of the Drow. This Centaur runner is kind of built. He's built whack. He's not actually really all that well able to survive things, and he's not actually all that well able to get the enemy team to focus on him. Just a lot of these fights, like the last one we saw there, everyone just totally ignores him and just collapses on the Drow, and it's kind of bad. Like,
okay. Jumpman?
kind of. They have the Jumpman here again. He's
Oh,
going to try to buy time with the Yules. That was the wrong option. That time you probably wanted to hit the Manta style and then get out of there. But
he used like
Lifestealer
right at
waiting
the
on-
circle of the calling, so when he comes down, he gets silenced again.
yeah.
Oh,
Lifestealer's coming in from the back is just going to rake poor Centaur. So again, two fights going on. Lifestealer is going to ignore what's happening behind him and just start beating this tower here.
if you click like Blade Mail when like Willow is like having the fairy thingy circling around her, does that kill her?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I think the Willow thing is sourced from Willow, so it does work. It just didn't get the job done.
Yeah.
They,
Oh, that's another
basically
lane
have-
of barracks.
They basically have Gleipnir on the pit lord, which is going to be pretty nasty. Just having the really big pits and the really big firestorms is going to be rough for the Dire, I think. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, that little factor was just decisive. Like, a lot of the like I mentioned at the top, both of these teams have such good ability to disengage, but the problem is that a lot of Dire's mobility is just the most blunt, direct movement possible. No BKB on the Death Prophet, by the way, which I think might be a bit of a self-grief. A lot of Dire's ability to move is just around, like, literal movement, around literally just right-clicking away. They have great ability to do so, but not when you've got the Pit Lord pits that are also going to be really big now, not when you've got the Willow mazes, not when you've got so much crap on the ground, so many circles littering the place. That makes it pretty tough to just go home. It feels like we've seen a lot of these fights where DP is just isolated, where if they didn't have this upside, she would be able to just go away, and because they do have that upside, she's just not able to. I think that's where the decisive advantage for the Rout team that we're seeing now is kind of coming from, and that's just going to further that front. Wind Waker nearly out for Jumpman. He should be pretty tough to kill after that point. But he's not going to be tough to kill now. Oh, no, he is going to be tough to kill. This time he got the order right, using Manta Dodge. The Lifestealer has, that's not Mr. Lifestealer. The Lifestealer has gotten an Iascati. Has traded in his Orb of Corrosion for it. I wonder if you can disassemble all. Let's see. He traded his Orb of Corrosion for Iascati, which is actually going to be really big. It's going to stop a lot of the raging coming out of the Death Prophet in particular, because she has no BKB. Can't stop it. They're gonna find the Death Prophet too. They're gonna try to go to town on her here. Oh man, Jumpman.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Yep, he is
Alright,
going to Wind Wake away.
Wake.
Yep. Gonna Wind Wake away. The Centaur ult is pretty much completely wasted. Exo comes out really late here actually. This is super awkward for the Dire. They can't figure out whether they want to go in or out. DB wants to go in, everyone else wants to stay out, so now she's kind of isolated. Drow is having to be the person to move in behind her. That's really not who you want. She has a Shadow Blade, by the way. GP has already lost about, you know, a third of her HP. God, everyone's just getting chased away by a Willow. Meanwhile, the actual base, this is very smart play calling. I don't know who did that. See, Pit Lord expressed their way to the Dire base. Drow was the one to try and face them here. They just got raked in the back line. The Muerta has come in behind them as well, but she's not where the team fight is. It's the DP is the person with the team fight, and she's not even here. She's still getting just harassed by the Willow.
Yeah, this might be GG. Drow has no buyback.
Drow has no buyback, and the Death Prophet can't actually get here.
Oh,
Kyrix is
there you
calling,
go.
geez, we're going home. That was a very clever. Where's DP?
DP.
That is a very clever way for this team to win the game. I don't know who called this play, but whoever it was, very smart.
That was a very, very good call.
Literally had Willow just tie up the main source of their team fight while they just went and won. So, yeah. But beyond that, which I think might have been a way to win, even if they were like on the back foot at that particular moment, I think it was just a very good play. But even just beyond that, it did feel like this was a very awkward game. It didn't feel like there was much of a draft advantage. The circles thing on the ground, that was basically it, and that's not necessarily decisive, especially if you see BKB coming out on DP. I think this game could be very different. But, well, if you see the BKB coming out on the DP, if the Centaur Warrunner elects not to go for the Crimson Guard, and definitely, if he elects not to go for the Blame Mail, that's a self-grief a lot of the time for a pot 3, especially into the Lifestealer, because Lifestealer doesn't care. He's just going to get his health back anyway on a target like Centaur. But in a match that looks like this, where you do have aura items, yes, but they're not aura items that are, like, significantly tipping the fight, all that Blame Mail is going to do is, when you hit it, everyone's going to go, well, yeah, I shouldn't be hitting this guy anyway, should I? I'm going to kill Drow instead. I'm going to kill the Muerta instead. And that's not what you really want to have happen to you for the pause 3. Better build from the Centaur BKB on the Death Prophet. I think this match could change a lot. If, he seemed to be maybe he was just very cocky after the first game, because he was doing a lot of, excuse me, a lot of these plays where he was positioning himself very aggressively, where he was taking the risky farm. He kind of was making the same blunders as Rauk was in the last game. I mean, this could be a very different game, but it felt like Dungeons and Dagons had a lot of clever plays. They knew what to do this time. The Pit Lord build's a little whack still, but I don't think either of these guys need a Crimson Guard. This game should have had 0 Crimson Guards. The fight makes more sense, I think, on that team than the other way around, just because they have at least the AA ult to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. Neither of these. If there was one thing to build, it's like the Dire maybe should have had Greaves. Shiva's Guard would have been. Oh, they did have a Shiva's Guard, I guess. Shiva's Guard would have been awesome, and it was there. It just wasn't quite awesome enough. I don't know. This is just the wrong game for auras. The Lifestealer pretty much bypasses them. The other guys just don't do the right kind of damage to care about that. Oh, I guess in fairness, the pipe on the Centaur makes some sense, because you do have the magic damage coming from a couple of sources there. But either way,
Centaur X probably would be nice this game.
oh
so
yeah,
you could have saved the draw.
Centaur
Could've
eggs to
picked
put her in the
up
cart
it.
could have been very good. I guess I don't think auras were the right way to go against this lineup. I think Centaur should have just let somebody else deal with the Lifestealer, ideally with either a Silence or a Hex. I think either of those would work pretty well. He never built any kind of defensive items at all, and nobody else on his team has like a Lotus Orb or anything, or for that matter, any way to get one. So even a Silence would have actually been really nasty for the Lifestealer, but like a Hex would have really been bad for him.
Yeah.
Centaur
Like,
should have let.
probably
Yeah, I guess you don't really have anybody who's that great for doing that. DP with the Hex would make the most sense, but she wasn't really rolling in cash per se. But
Drow with it. Her axe is her axe pretty good against Lifestealer? I don't quite remember.
no, the Axe is the one where she just like gets bats back when she hits people, so
Oh yeah, so
she just
maybe
heals.
not that.
I guess she gets ghost back with her other bats, but still. Yeah, I mean, you do have 2 silences for the Lifestealer hypothetically already, but the problem is that both of them are slow and can be dodged. In fact, the one big stun you have, the two stuns you have, period, also can be dodged. The fear can be dodged. They're all slow. Lifestealer has plenty of time to hit Q, and he did. He only died once. So you definitely, I feel like you definitely want to see like just a point-click hit, either the silence or the hex for the lifestealer, and then build more around the rest of his team. I mean, can you imagine the reality in which? Well, I don't know what the hell Centaur builds this game. To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything he can build that's that impressive. It's just kind of a bad game for the items he wants to build, I guess. A blade mail is certainly not on the registry. The second Shivas, I don't like either. I guess you would probably just you don't really build Greaves on the Centaur per se. Hell, I don't know.
He
I mean,
picked
I think your Ag's
yeah.
idea.
Yeah, Axe is probably the better pickup, honestly.
Ags is
Gives you
probably the best thing you got. Just get Ags and just make yourself big strength tanky and get
oh,
the
you can buy hard.
yeah. Get Ags, make yourself big strength tanky. Though you know you definitely don't want to get hit. If Lifestealer hits you one time when you're big strength tanky, he's gonna heal his entire HP bar. So don't let that happen. And you know, just go on that metric maybe. You know, I think that's where you really want to be. You're not going to win the matchup against Lifestealer anyway. That's not really worth building for at this point. Get that shard and throw in some damage. I mean, this team had a big damage gap. It's like if there wasn't an EXO going on, this team did like a quarter of the damage the enemy team did in fights. It felt like. See,
Yeah, true.
see that damage dealt. Yeah, it's like Drow had kind of bad hero damage because she wasn't in that many fights and was dying quickly pretty often. The DP has like all this team's damage. Muerta has almost nothing. The Centaur almost nothing. The AA almost nothing. Right? Like you know. Meanwhile, the Radiant not only has. I guess they actually also have a pretty bad damage issue too. But A, nobody's at that 8K margin. B, one of your guys sustains himself by default. Oh, he's in Gundam's clan. One of your guys sustains himself by default. One of your guys on the Radiant is just like jumping around everywhere. Has even has the better shield, right? Like these guys have the ability to sustain that damage, and your team outside of the DP specifically doesn't. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Very awkward game. Very awkward to watch. Very awkward resolution. But some clever plays by the Dungeons and Dagons team does mean that it was not a waste of my life to watch it. So at least there's that. Anything else to say about this before we go out?
No, I think it was just good team play by Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah,
and
very
it's
very
just
very good looking game for the Dark Willow in particular. Very good
yeah, I
looking
think the
game.
Dark Willow probably like won most of their team fights by splitting it up.
Hmm.
So yeah,
If you or somebody
kudos to
you
them.
know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg today to sign up. It's too late to get into this season, maybe, but it's not too late to stand in. Need stand-ins all the time. Everyone under that 4K range needs a stand-in at least sometimes. The in-houses will be stopping, or be starting rather, after the season is stopping. Queues popping everywhere you look. All kinds of fun to be had. Go to ld2l.gg, click the link to the Discord server. That's where all the action is happening. And we'll see you this Sunday with whatever our live game's going to be. Say goodbye, Karisu.
All right, bye bye.